Now to turn our focus to the Kenyan markets, and we start off by looking at the NSE, which is closed in positive territory. That's up 0.16%, closing at 5,027.28. And on the currency front, we see that the Kenyan shilling is trading at 85.7. That to the US dollar, that's up by 0.25%. And now joining us from our studios in Nairobi to give us an update on the Kenyan markets is Daniel Kuyo. He's a research analyst at Nairobi Securities. Daniel, thank you so much for making the time to join us again today. Let's first get your highlights from today's stock market performances.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. One of the things that we saw highlight today's market performance was the NSE 20 share index, the benchmark index, went up marginally, and but the all share index came down slightly, and that could be attributed to the blue chip stocks pumping steam into the stock market. We could see Safaricom gaining marginally, and a few other stocks also on the upward trend, and that's probably why those mixed results in today's performance.
Of course, looking at those mixed results and looking at those stocks that closed the day in negative territory, tell us a little bit about the energy stocks today.
Well, we had Total Kenya coming down about two shillings. Probably it's been going up for the last 2 weeks, and it could be attributed to the profit taking by investors who've made a few shillings on the counter and decided to take profit. Another stock that came down today was Kengen, and they released their results a few weeks ago, sorry, and they made indication that they were going to go into partnership, 70-30 debt equity partnership to look for more capital to expand the national grid of the country. And that seems to have toned down quite a number of investors. They said they want to go into a rights issue as well next year. And it seems that investors are reacting negatively to that news. It seems that they see that the counter will reduce their dividends and dilute their shareholdings as well.
Of course, we've also saw National Bank posting some positive performance. Would you say that this is a reflection or a continuation of the positive results that we saw, rather impressive results that we saw them posting about a week ago?
Definitely. I think that's one of the indicators of its performance is that it went up about, the net income went up about 70% in their Q3 results, and a lot of the investors were a bit surprised by that, and it could be attributed as well to the management changes that came in early on in the year, and we are beginning to see that happen, and we are hoping that to have that performance replicated even to the final year, to the final year and to the next quarter as well.
Of course, some overall good news coming from the Kenyan markets today. I see that the NSE has been ranked the third best performing African bourse on the continent. Would you say that this is an accurate reflection on a rather bullish outlook for the economy?
Definitely, it is. If you remember in March, we had the national elections, and they went on quite peacefully. The result was positive, and now going forward, we noticed a lot of foreign investors coming in, boosting the confidence of the stock market. And I think that a lot of the performance could be attributed to them. They came into the market strong in some months, quite holding as much as 60% of the market activity was attributed to foreign investors, and we see that being replicated even in the last months of the year, and we're hoping that this trend will continue even next year, as it's a show of confidence in the market. And even as Kenya goes into the market to bid for the sovereign bond next year, this is kind of an indicator that people are confident in the country and that it's slated to perform well going forward as a frontier market.
Turning very quickly, Daniel, to a policy issue that is quite prevalent on the Kenyan market scene right now, understanding that President Kenyatta is about to sign into law the Kenya Information and Communications Bill. Should he do that, what impact is this likely to have on the telecoms industry?
I think one of the things that will come into play is that the media will be more regulated. They are right now independently regulated by their own commission, and now they'll be regulated a bit more by the government, and that will probably limit information freedom. There'll be an imposition of fines on stories not deemed to be correct. It will also impact counters such as Nation Media, Standard Group, which deal mainly in the media and the press in pushing forward their content as well. And this could impact them negatively in their revenue growth, not being able to distribute their newspapers. They could probably now look for other revenue counters to be able to boost their top line growth.
Daniel, I've got about a minute left, and I just want to get your views on what's happening with Kenya Airways, understanding that they're coming under some pressure with some of their key routes, such as the route to Egypt and other routes that really generate a lot of revenue for them. And yet we're seeing the company posting rather impressive results last week, up by over 28%. What is happening with Kenya Airways? Can you just give us some insight there?
Well, one of the things that they're beginning to diversify a bit more into the Asian markets. They just brought in a new aircraft, Boeing 777, and they're expecting the Dreamliners next year. And so we are seeing them looking for new markets for long-haul flights. And Africa is really big for them. And so by them losing revenues for cargo and for people from Egypt, to and from Egypt, that's a major revenue counter for them. And so they're just trying to diversify their revenue options so that the counter can continue to perform well in the near future as well.